I'm privileged to be joined today by Naomi Frauenfelder, CEO of Healthy Heads in Trucks and Sheds, an Australian not-for-profit organisation focused on maximising the mental health and wellness of workers in our road, transport and logistics industries. Thanks for joining me today, Naomi. Could you start off with giving me an overview of Healthy Heads in Trucks and Sheds and how it supports the workers in the transport and logistics industry?
Hi, Brad, and thanks for having me. Absolutely. So Healthy Heads in Trucks and Sheds is a registered not-for-profit charity that was launched in August last year. And basically it was established in response to the poor state of mental health across the road transport, warehousing and logistics industries. So some of the stats around that, I guess the general stat we know in Australia is that 1 in 5 people experience a mental health challenge or condition at some point in their lives. In our industry, it's closer to 1 in 2. And what's worse is that 38% of the people who say they experience a mental health challenge said their workplace caused it or made it worse. So these are statistics that I guess CEOs and leaders across industry take very seriously and decided to band together and found a dedicated, independent, not-for-profit to take on the challenge and attempt to improve mental health and wellbeing across the industry.
It's been a major consideration for all of us, I guess, mental health over the last year or so, even longer. During the lockdowns, border closures, we've relied on our truckies and warehouse workers more than ever before. The whole industry's been under enormous pressure. Can you tell us about the mental health risk factors that are unique to your industry?
So there are a number of different psychosocial risk factors that are unique to those that are driving trucks or working in sheds. So these can include, the nature of the role of being a truck driver means you're potentially sitting and driving for 14 hours a day. So just the physical impact of that and the lack of time that you've got then to exercise and to find healthy food choices when you're out on the road. And then there's a huge number of smaller trucking companies that are sort of living contract to contract. They're under financial pressure. So a lot of these roles within industry do come with some unique risk factors. And this has all been compounded by COVID. So for the last 18 months, we've had unprecedented pressure placed on the industry, which has literally kept the economy moving. We've all been able to sit behind the safety of our desks and order what we need from Woolies or Coles or even, clothes, whatever we want online. But someone's had to be out there, I guess, risking exposure to the virus to be able to deliver those to us. So in speaking to some of our founding members, such as Australia Post, the volumes they're having are like what they have at Christmas time and beyond that. And they've had to sustain it for such a long period. And obviously there's no end in sight. We're going into the busiest period now, and it's already in unprecedented volumes. So these stresses, there's also issues at different state borders depending on lockdown restrictions, COVID testing. So I guess for an industry that already was facing poor mental health statistics, this has only compounded them.
I'm super proud of the VMware Tanzu Labs team for being involved in helping develop the new Healthy Heads mobile app. It's tailored specifically to support the mental wellbeing of the workers. What were the main reasons for launching this mobile app?
So basically, we see the app as an extension of the work that we're already doing because I guess due to the nature of a number of different roles in industry and the transient nature of the workforce, we wanted to be able to provide everyone with a free downloadable resource that they can have on their phone. These days, most people have a smartphone and live a lot of their lives through it. So it doesn't matter where you are, what time of day or night it is, you can have resources that you can access at your fingertips to help you do a wellbeing check-in, maybe stop and do some stretching or breathing exercises. There's specifically curated information and resources for those working in industry. So it was really, I guess, another way of getting to our critical workers and providing them with something that they can access in the privacy of, whenever they want to on their mobile device.
Yeah, it's a very cool concept. What's the feedback been like so far?
It's been awesome. So we've had great feedback in terms of it being super simple, and that was very much something that we wanted to do. Everyone's already got enough on their plates, and there's also a lot of wellbeing apps out there, but the point of difference with ours is that it's been curated for this industry and the specific roles. And then working with Tanzu Labs, we obviously went through their amazing processes where you sort of narrow down the scope and start to prioritize what can be in the app because there's a lot of different ideas of what it could include. But importantly, we then tested those assumptions in the one-to-one consultations that Tanzu Labs conducted with truck drivers or shed workers to ensure that what we're developing is what people actually want.
Yeah, it's awesome. I guess just in general, and finally, how can we help? So thinking about, you said before that, the team and the kind of industry is under intense pressure. How can we support? What's some ways that we can support?
I think just for everybody, the more we can talk about mental health and work to reduce stigma, the better we're going to be. So everyone's on a mental health continuum and you'll move up and down it throughout your life. So I think the more we can accept that it's okay not to be okay. We're really lucky in Australia to have amazing support services out there like Lifeline, Beyond Blue. There's lots of support that can be provided, but I guess it's being able to take that first step, which I think becomes less and less scary if it's not clouded under stigma, and that we just all accept that it's okay not to be okay. So I think it's really about that's how we can all work together, as well as, I guess, having some appreciation for those that are driving the trucks and delivering us our goods. I know people sometimes feel frustrated with lots of trucks on the road and congestion, but I mean that they've very literally been the ones keeping the economy going, particularly during COVID. So I think we can appreciate our truck drivers and shed workers out there.
Awesome. Naomi, a huge thanks for spending time with me today, to share the story of healthy heads in trucks and sheds. It's always good to think and consider our own mental health, and I guess really sort of look around and understand others. So really glad to be able to continue raising awareness of the issues. I look forward to continuing our partnership and working together and using the power of technology to support more people in the industry. So thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having me, Brad, and also for the amazing support we've received from VMware, Tanzu Labs and Tanzu Act in supporting us to develop our app.